Cliff Richard was born Harry Roger Webb on October 14, 1940, in Lucknow, India, during the turbulence of the Second World War. His early childhood was marked by upheaval as his family moved to England when he was just a boy, adjusting to post-war. Britain was no easy task, but it was in that environment that Cliff discovered music. Drawn to the sounds of American rock and roll and rhythm and blues, he began experimenting with piano and guitar, while his natural voice quickly set him apart in school performances and local competitions. Music, for him, was not just entertainment. It was an identity taking shape. By the late 1950s, his professional journey was already underway. Cliff co-founded The Shadows, originally known as The Drifters, and together they pioneered a sound that would leave a lasting mark on British music. Their unique blend of The Shadows' instrumental mastery and Cliff's smooth, magnetic vocals produced something fresh and exciting. In 1958, Cliff released Move It, a single widely regarded as one of the first authentic British rock and roll records. That song did more than launch his career. It signaled the beginning of the British invasion that would sweep across the globe in the 1960s. Cliff's career became a story of longevity and reinvention. Over 6 decades, he released more than 70 albums and 130 singles, achieving chart success in every era. Songs like Living Doll, Bachelor Boy, and We Don't Talk Anymore became generational anthems, each reflecting the changing tides of culture and style. Unlike many of his peers, Cliff navigated fame with discipline and humility. His clean-cut image and professionalism stood in contrast to the turbulent lifestyles of many other stars of his era. For this, he earned respect not only as a performer, but as a role model. In 1995, his contributions were formally recognized when he was knighted for his services to music and charity, a testament to his influence both on and off the stage. Even into his later years, Cliff showed no signs of slowing down. In 2013, he released the fabulous Rock and Roll Songbook, a project paying tribute to the early legends who inspired him: Elvis Presley, Buddy Holly, Jerry Lee Lewis, Chuck Berry, and Little Richard. It was both a nostalgic return to his roots and a reaffirmation of his enduring passion. The album reached number 7 on the UK charts and went gold, proof that Cliff's connection with audiences was as strong as ever. He followed it with Just Fabulous Rock and Roll in 2016, which included a striking virtual duet with Elvis on Blue Suede Shoes. This album went even further, debuting at number 4 and reminding the world that Cliff Richard remained a force in popular music, even in his 70s. But behind the fame and accolades, Cliff's personal life was the subject of endless speculation. A lifelong bachelor, his relationships were often scrutinized. In a letter written in 1961 to his girlfriend Delia Wicks, he revealed the sacrifices his career demanded. He confessed that being a pop singer meant giving up the right to a lasting relationship, acknowledging the weight of choosing fame over personal happiness. His romances with women such as actress Una Stubbs, dancer Jackie Irving, and later tennis champion Sue Barker captured headlines, but none ended in marriage. Cliff's words over the years revealed a man torn between desire for companionship and an understanding that his vocation would always come first. As Cliff reflected on his own life, he was asked about others whose careers had burned brightly but ended tragically. One such figure was Andy Gibb, the youngest brother of the Bee Gees. Andy's rise to fame in the late 1970s was meteoric. Blessed with good looks, charm, and an unforgettable voice, he became a teenage heartthrob almost overnight. Songs like I Just Want to Be Your Everything and Shadow Dancing catapulted him to global stardom. But behind the dazzling smile and chart-topping success lay personal battles that would ultimately overwhelm him. For years, Cliff Richard stayed quiet when asked about Andy, though they had crossed paths in the entertainment world recently. In a rare moment of reflection, Cliff finally broke his silence, sharing heartfelt words about Andy's short but impactful life. He began by praising Andy's raw talent. Andy was one of those rare performers who seemed to have everything. He had the looks, the voice, and the charisma that pulled people in instantly. He didn't just sing songs, he lived them. He made you feel every note. Cliff's description captured the essence of what made Andy so beloved. He wasn't just a pop star, he was an artist who poured authenticity and vulnerability into every performance. Cliff also spoke about the double-edged sword of Andy's rapid rise to fame. The industry can be very unkind, especially to someone so young, he reflected. Success came so quickly that he didn't have time to find his footing. One moment he was a young man with dreams, and the next he was living them at a speed that would overwhelm anyone. Cliff's own early experiences in the spotlight gave him unique insight into how overwhelming such attention can be. The difference, perhaps, was that Cliff had structure and support that Andy never fully found. Then came Andy's struggles with addiction, a subject Cliff approached with compassion. It's heartbreaking when talent like that is clouded by pain, he said. Andy carried more weight on his shoulders than he ever let on. The fame, the expectations, and his own personal battles, it was too much. And when you don't have the right support, it's very easy to lose yourself. His words reminded fans that beneath the glittering image was a young man fighting battles few truly understood. Yet, despite everything, Cliff chose to highlight Andy's brightness. What I always admired about Andy was his ability to light up a room. Cliff recalled, even when he wasn't at his best, he had this way of making others feel good. That's a gift very few people have, and it's why people loved him so much. Those who knew Andy often echoed this sentiment. He was generous, warm, and deeply caring, even when his own life was in turmoil. Cliff also reflected on the tragedy of Andy's passing in 1988 at just 30 years old. It's one of the greatest losses in music. Truly, 30 years old is no age at all. He had so much more to give, not just musically, but personally. I sometimes think about the songs he never got to record, the performances he never got to give, and the lives he never had the chance to touch. It's a reminder of how fragile life can be, and how important it is to look after one another. His words carried both grief and wisdom, the perspective of a man who had lived through the relentless machine of fame and seen too many young lives cut short. Finally, Cliff turned to Andy's legacy. Andy's story is sad, yes, but it's also full of beauty. His voice still plays on the radio, his performances still make people smile, and his name still means something to those who loved him. That's the legacy of a true artist. He may not be with us anymore, but the music keeps him alive. And I think that's what he would have wanted. In breaking his silence, Cliff Richard did more than remember a fallen star. He honored Andy Gibb as both a musician and a person. His reflections reminded fans of the joy Andy brought, while acknowledging the pain he endured. For Cliff, it was a deeply personal way of connecting to stories, his own tale of survival in an unforgiving industry, and Andy's brief, brilliant flame that burned out far too soon. For fans of both men, hearing Cliff speak these words is moving and long overdue. It serves as a reminder of the cost of fame, the importance of compassion, and the power of music to outlast sorrow. Andy Gibb may be gone, but through voices like Cliff Richard's and through the songs that continue to echo, his spirit endures.